Hi, my name is Sharice Prey, and I am going to talk today about my opinion politically. I guess I'll voice them. Um, I don't have anything negative or anything to say to bring down anyone, but I would like to say is that people need to give Obama or anyone who is in the president's seat a little bit of leeway in a sense, because yes, he is the figurehead for this country, he represents us, but at the same time we have to understand that our country is run by a government that has checks and balances. It's the things we learned about in history class or government classes. And these they're people who have to actually vote for and pass these certain policies. And right now I feel like they're in a place where it is an us against them. Republican is like feeling like we can't give in to the Democrats. But I feel like every day when they walk into work, they need to come in with not an us against them attitude. They should come in with an attitude of, let's think about the people in this nation. And yes, the Republicans are supposed to be representing those who are Republicans. But at the same time, I feel like we have to think about people at the core, not just titles, or what side we're on. So I feel like they should just go to work, not just Republicans, but Democrats or whoever goes to work in the government. Think about, my job here is to help this nation and to help people. And a lot of people felt dissatisfied, but there are people who have to vote for these policies to get passed, and I feel like the pressure needs to be put on them too, not just the president. You gotta look at them and say, this is why we voted the president in, because he said he would try to get this policy through. So why did you say no to it? Why a lot of opposition? Some people have legitimate reasons, and I feel like some also had this thing where they were like, I'm not gonna give in kind of thing. But it's not about selling out or giving in, it's about working together. And they teach us that in elementary school, from a young child. They teach us how to work well with others. They say it's important and critical in anything that we do, that we be able to effectively communicate with each other, to work together. And sometimes you're in a group with people who are different personalities, major differences. You have to learn to cope with that. And I feel like if these people have displayed that they couldn't even handle, a president they weren't willing to work with, do we need these people in the seats that they sit in? They represent us, and if we're teaching our kids and growing up learning these certain values, I feel like they should be displayed to the best of their ability every time they go to work, every time they clock in, every time they are on the dime of this nation. It's a huge responsibility, yes, to think about such a large amount of people, so many wants, so many needs. But if it was your passion, if it was your dream to be in the Senate seat, to be in the House of Representatives, to be a governor, then let your passion carry you. So that's how I feel about that. I feel like Romney was excellent in his own right. You know, he was a very wholesome family man and very religious. You know, he's very, he had a very close relationship with God and his family as well. And that's something that's also good. You know, I feel like both sides have something amazing with their personalities and characters to add to this country. But I feel like it has to be a balance, and that's why I was so happy when Obama was talking about trying to continue conversations with Romney to help broaden the spectrum. And I guess he realized it too has to be a balance. It can't just be I'm good, he's bad. They both see two different sides of things, and when you work together, then things work a little bit better, especially when you can see from different perspectives and point of view. So I just feel like, you know, I'm very happy that Obama won, and I'm glad that he's made history again, and I feel like he's proof that someone can make history in this country. No matter who you are, you can make history. You can change the world. You can do something. So I feel like the election really spoke volumes about the state of our country, the state of people individually. It just spoke volumes about everything. And I just hope that the people who were for Romney continue, if they have already been, being gracious characters, and continue being, you know, for whatever they were going for, you know, not to give it up, but hopefully realize that it's a time to collaborate, time to work together. And the same for those who are for Obama, and continue to be gracious, to be kind, and to not put down anyone who was for Romney, and vice versa. And a lot of people would say people who were for Romney were racist, or they were saying racist things. And my thing is this: if you have been doing this, stop and think. By being racist, you're not showing that you have class. And if you believe that you are a part of a society that has class, then you don't need to be bitter or say anything racist or mean or degrading, demeaning. Just be classy, you know, and courteous and respectful of people who probably weren't for Romney. This world is changing, and sometimes I think we do have to change with it. Sometimes keeping some ideas are good from the past, you know, keep some things, but at the same time, you have to think about, is what you're carrying with you helping to remind people of a good and great time, or is it something that's causing friction and, you know, aggressiveness, and the results aren't positive? If that's the case, then maybe something, you know, it's not a value that you want to carry with you. But yeah, I was just speaking about that since it's the most recent thing. And yeah, you know, but me, at this point, I can't really say for myself personally if I'm Democrat or Republican. For me, I have to really look at what are you offering, you know, and then I can decide. Because it's like when you're voting for class president at school, you know, everyone, there's no party name. Each person is representing themselves, and you have to see which one you feel best represents you. You know, there's no titles or anything dividing each person. Each person is divided by what they feel is they can implement or offer and do and change, you know. So, you know, for me, I feel like I'm at a point where I've seen too many people get too divided because of title, and they stop looking at this, what people have to offer in the situation. They're just, I don't like you because you're this and I'm that. And so, you know, I think we need to get back to just doing research, getting back in touch with our government. It is hard because there is a lot more people than when the U.S. first was, I guess, created. You know, a lot more people were a little bit easier to come together. But at the same time, I feel like we too have our own responsibility, you know, as citizens, to help keep things moving forward as well. You know, because people in other countries don't just look at the president. He's a figurehead, but when we go tour in their countries, when they come here to tour our country, they see the citizens, how they act day to day, how we treat each other. So they see us representing ourselves every day. So we have a duty as well. So I guess that's what I have to say about that. But if you watch the video, and if you I guess have anything to say, feel free to comment. I hope they are constructively, you know, positive in a way where if it's a criticism, you know, it's something that I can read and respect, you know, because I would want to respect anyone, you know, if I offered my opinion, you know, I would like to do it with respect, and that way I know I can leave and walk around every day with integrity and honor. And so I hope that I hear back from you guys, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm actually trying to be more regular this time with the video, because this channel developed some meaning for me in the last couple of weeks. I've figured out what I can do with this channel, and I hope that the videos to come will be helpful. So I guess I'll talk with y'all later. Bye.